Hey everybody, this is Boost for you with the 5th week of DDL. My opponent this time is Shivzy, and from the looks of it, it's another very bulky, almost stall-esque core. You have the 3 pink blobs right there, Blissey, Alamomola, and Cresselia. And it's backed up with deadly breakers that stop you from outstalling the stall, such as Palafin, Golden Go, and Terra Ice Dugtrio. Arena Trap is not banned, so I'm gonna have to be super cautious of Dugtrio with its ground and Terra Ice Stab, basically unresisted coverage against me. Palafin will also be very deadly. If either of those are on choice band, it's gonna be very hard to switch into. Golden Go, on the other hand, it comes with lots of immunities with its good as gold ability. That's gonna be a big problem to stop my Zapdos. It got nerfed. It doesn't have Blaze Kick or Throat Chop anymore. I still have Stomping Tantrum though, but it's much weaker than the other options I mentioned. Oricorio is Terra Fairy, and the cool thing about Revelation Dance's mechanic is that it changes type to the first type of the user. So if Oricorio Terras, then Revelation Dance actually changes to match the Terra type. So it could have Revelation Dance Fairy, which is pretty interesting. Then there's Lilligant, Hisui, another excellent breaker. I feel like Shivzy's playstyle is to pivot around the 3 fat blobs, the 3 pink blobs, then go into one of their breakers. With Hustle and Victory Dance, it makes a great cleaner, but it's a bit strapped for moves, so if I can figure out the coverage that it's missing, I might be able to wall it decently well. Then there's Morgram, another pivot option with Parting Shot, also gets screens. Just a budget pick in my opinion. Jolteon, more pivoting options. Yeah, you can really see the pattern here. They really want to get in that Dugtrio and Palafin. Jolteon is the fastest Mon in this match, but I don't see it being a problem. We have Ursaring, we have Palosand, and we have Goodra and Muck to stop Jolteon's advances. Blissey, Super Spadef Wall, it doesn't have Heal Bell or Aromatherapy anymore, and Soft Boil did get nerfed, but it still does a great job at stopping my Noivern and Palosand. Alamomola stops all my physical attackers in their tracks, except maybe like a banded Wild Charge from my Terra Electric Arcanine. I can expect Alamomola to come because my Samurott looks very good in here. Then there's Spidops, it's a nice speed control option. I feel like it's another budget pick. I guess Memento is a pivot option. And then there's Cresselia, the mixed wall. If you don't want to be extreme like Blissey or Alamomola, you can just go for the mixed wall with Cresselia. I believe it has a new move called Lunar Blessing. And yeah, we'll see if we run into that. So, what I see from this team is that Zapdos can actually sweep him if I can get rid of that Golden Go. because after one speed boost, I should be able to outspeed their entire team, and with a bulk up boost, I can tank the likes of Sucker Punch, Jet Punch, and even a random hit from Lilligant Hisui. Then we also have Samurott, also looks really good. Their hazard control is non-existent. There's only Oricorio, who is super frail. I mean, they can go for the defensive Oricorio, but all of the Oricorio variants get clowned on by Arcanine. And I have lots of options to punish Defog. Goodra doesn't look too good here. Arena Trap will just body me, and I can't really pressure any of the walls because Goodra's support options are non-existent. Arcanine, nice breaker. If I run Band, nothing should be able to switch into it. And I also have extreme speed in case Jet Punch or Duck Trio traps me. Enamorus could be decent. Mixed set could possibly work, but my issue with that is it's going to lose to Terra Ice Duck Trio. It's a good ground immunity, but then right after that, if he gets one good read, Enamorus is pretty dang useless. Espeon, Magic Bounce to block the Stealth Rocks. My Hazard Control core with Espeon, Noivern, and Sarina, they only seem decent. Noivern, though, looks very helpful as my dedicated water check again, just like versus Windscream. Do have to watch out for the ice coverage, but I'm going to be more smarter this time. I think I am. And I don't really need Palossand as a spin blocker because there's no spinners. There's Ice Spinner Lilligant, but that doesn't remove hazards. Ursaring is another good win con. Their passive chip won't do much to me because I'll have rest. And if they toxic or they don't even have a burn option, if they toxic me, then I'm also powered up by Guts. The only issue with Ursaring is that if I'm gonna use it as a setup win condition, I'm gonna be mono attacking. And that leaves me to be walled by Golden Go. Because if I opt to Terra into Fairy to tank stuff like Close Combat from Bandit Palafin or Close Combat from Lilligant Hisui, then I'll end up being weak to Steel, which Golden Go has an equally strong Make It Rain. Muck looks good here. No T-Spike Absorber, and their hazard control is pretty trash. So I'm definitely going to bring that. So yeah, let's see how I prepped. So we have a win con Zapdos right here with a weakness policy. So I noticed Alomomola, it doesn't have Scald. It doesn't have Knockoff. It doesn't even have Flip Turn like in Radical Red, which messed me up. But it does have Dazzling Gleam, which is what I expected he would bring to cover my Samurott and Zapdos. It can't use Chilling Water because Defiant will just counteract that. So I'm expecting it to run Dazzling Gleam. That way, I can Trailblaze on the switch, bulk up on the Dazzling Gleam, and then hopefully one hit or two hit KO it. That is the plan. And from there, I should be able to just get a kill or two more after all the priority and recall I'm getting from my stabs. Noivern is Specs Breaker. I wanted something to immediately kill Palafin and Dugtrio. Yeah, there's Blissey, who makes short work of this set, but that's what U-turn is for. I'm most likely going to be spamming it, unless I don't see Blissey being a problem. Then we have Samurott. I feel like it's going to be a great early game breaker with Swords Dance and Ceaseless Edge. The goal is to get up spikes, yeah, but Samurott can put a lot of holes in their team. Especially with the bulky spread I'm using. It can set up on the fat pink blobs and even a Morgram if he opts to run that. Then we have Iron Ball Sarina. Now this Sarina was EV'd to survive a banded Terra Blast Ice from Dugtrio, as well as 2 Make It Rains from Golden Go. And that's why I have Iron Ball Fling. That gives me 130 base power Dark type to hit Golden Go. Unfortunately, I don't have knockoff, so this is my only way to touch Golden Go. I don't need spinning because their team doesn't really have a lot of hazards. There's only rocks and webs. So yeah, Sarina is mostly there to repeatedly switch into Golden Go, which I'm predicting is gonna be Scarf. So I can synthesis up the second Make It Rain, and then its continuous Make It Rains won't be able to hurt me at all. U-turn is to grab momentum into my breakers, and Power Whip is to like deal damage. Now we have Muck, this time with Shed Shell, so then I can't be trapped by Dugtrio. Its main goal is to just set up Toxic Spikes. Sticky Hold is nice to unblock knockoff from... Oh, and actually it's to block Trick from Golden Go, because once again I'm thinking it's going to be Scarf, so Muck makes a great switch into Golden Go. I don't want it to be crippled by getting a Choice Scarf tricked onto it. But yeah, all it does is set up spikes. If I need damage, there's the Curse, Shadow Sneak, and Poison Jab. Muck will have quite a few opportunities to set up Curse, I feel like, versus Morgram, even Lilligant, if I get lucky with its misses. Or, yeah. But yeah, Curse is kind of filler. Now we have Ursaring. Ursaring special defense EVs are to make sure I don't die to Make It Rain when I'm a fairy. So I'm at full health, Make It Rain can never kill me. And then the rest is to become as physically bulky as possible, because there's going to be banded Palafins, banded Dugtrio, or Hustle Lilligant with Victory Dance. All these big physical threats I need to switch into. So yeah, let's see how this goes. Okay, so this is basically what I predicted would come. The 3 blobs, then Shivzy's 3 deadliest breakers. I decide to lead Samurott here because I should be able to live anything from Baby Palafin and Banded Dugtrio, and if it's Golden Go, I can just switch over to Muck and start getting up my Toxic Spikes. And if it's a Pink Blob, then I can just start setting up. So he leads with Palafin, and I go for Samurott. Now I'm thinking it's a baby Palafin, it can't really hurt me at all. it's probably just gonna switch out to trigger its hero form. So I went for a really greedy turn 1 sword stance, only to get greeted by a banded close combat on its baby form. Thankfully, since I was max HP, I knew that the close combat couldn't kill me, but that was very greedy of me to try to go for game right there. So over there, I preserved Samurott because Ceaseless Edge, the spikes from Ceaseless Edge, is still super important. So I want to get it in on one of the slower mons. So now I get my needed toxic spikes, and now I have my Sarina to repeatedly take the Make It Rains. Yep, the special defense EV's coming to fruition. Over here, yeah, the switch was obvious since his special attack was down, and now I get my spikes. Except that I don't because I missed. And that was really brutal. The first time Ceaseless Edge missed for me, I knew it that 90% accuracy would be bad. So over here, I was like, okay, well, I can start setting up. There's nothing he can do really to stop me. If it's Chilling Water a la Momola, that's okay. I can switch into Zapdos. And yeah, he's just letting me get up to +6. I'm like, oh, okay. I want to be as healthy as possible so that when I Terra, I'll be able to kill the Cresselia and then be able to survive a hit from Golden Goa. So yep, all that's happening is Shiv is letting me get up to my +6. Now the issue here is that I ran Terra Blast instead of Play Rough, and that was a huge misplay. Because with Terra Blast, I'm forced to Terra, or else I'm going to be stuck with a super weak special attack. If I stuck to Play Rough, I wouldn't need to Terra Fairy, and then you'll see why staying as a normal type would have been much better in this match. So it keeps going. I'm like, well, now I'm at +6, thanks. Now let me get back to full and try to get lucky with Sleep Talk. I tried to resist showing Sleep Talk, but I think I did. Yeah, I did. Because I didn't want to show that I'm mono attack, but it was too late. I already revealed it once. Yeah, here's when I try to get lucky. And I didn't. And there's the Terra Blast. Now over here, yeah, Make It Rain killed me at that range, so I should have just, I should have just stayed, and I shouldn't have went for the second Sleep Talk, but I only had 3 rests left, and getting the first turn Sleep Talk Terra Blast was starting to feel like it wouldn't happen. So I went for that second turn, and it did happen, which is poorly timed. But now Muck comes out to take the Make It Rain. Yep, special defense allows me to take 2. And over there, Muck is useless. He got his T-Spike up. And he reads the Noivern switch, so they're like, oh, great. Yeah, remember how I said I'd watch out for ice coverage? I didn't. That was a good read on Shiv's part. So I try to set up on the Palafin, maybe rack up some poison damage, but he immediately goes to Golden Go, so I just sack my Muck. Since it did its job, it actually poisoned the Palafin. Now over here, I was like, oh, perfect timing. I'm gonna bluff the Scarf, or just, yeah, I can force the Golden Go out since it's -1 special attack. And now I do the scenario I played in my head. And it's Rocky Helmet, which is really bad, but it turns up having Play Rough instead of Dazzling Gleam. I was like, oh man, they gave it so much Fairy type moves. But in the end, it dropped my attack to trigger Defiant, and then Weakness Policy triggered, and my attack becomes Sky High. I went for a second Trailblaze because I did end up OHKOing it right away, and the extra speed would help in case it's Scarf, Palafin, or... No, actually, I did it because I didn't want the downsides of Close Combat and Brave Bird. So over here, Shivz decides to sack Blissey, which is a good play. They just needed my defense low so that Jet Punch could kill. If I went for Brave Bird, the recoil would be way worse than the close combat defense drop, which is why I had to do that. But I was hoping they would sack Gold and go, but they were smart. So now out comes Sarina. I know the Jet Punch is coming because they're desperate to stop the sweep. And Queenly Majesty blocks it. Now over here, I'm like, okay, well it's banded. I know that from the close combat damage. So they're forced to switch into, well, they can't take Power Whip with Duck Trio, so forced to switch into Goldengo. I'm like, okay, now I can reveal my Iron Ball tech. And yep, I knew it couldn't kill, but since it's choice locked, I'm like, well, I can live. Well, I won't be able to live a Make It Rain at this range. No, I can't. But I did my damage, and that's really good. So Ursaring and Zapdos could possibly claim a kill against it now. But it's not even Scarf. It's for cover. I'm like, what? And what item is it? And yeah, now I'm like, oh no. I have no way to beat this Goldengo now. It's pretty much hopeless at this point. I thought it was Scarf. Most of them run Scarf. But man, why'd they have to give this thing recover? So over here, I'm like, well, maybe I can stall out your recovers. They did nerf it to 8 PP, but he gets the special defense drop, which is not good for me. Yep, so I sack Ursaring here. I'm thinking maybe I can trigger the Make It Rain drops. Yep, I do. And then I discovered a new win con. If I make Goldengo run out of Make It Rain, then Ursaring can 1v1 it, and he only has 2 left. So if I can bait the Make It Rain by sending out Ursaring and then switching out, then I will be able to solo the rest of the team with Ursaring. But Shivzy caught on, and out comes Palafin. I sack Zapdos to the Banded Ice Punch because I needed Sarina alive to tank the Make It Rains. There's Ursaring. I want to be full health to like force the Make It Rain, but he knows that I can't touch it since I'm mono attack. And now, yeah, it's hopeless. He can just spam Shadow Ball. I'm trying to force the Make It Rain, but it won't happen. And that's GG. Unfortunately, I lost to another stall core, even though they didn't really do anything. Cresselia and Blissey were sacks. But yeah, this super defense mixed with super offense matchups are really hard for me in general. I don't know why. Probably because like I like using blanket checks. So if there's something that hits too hard, then my whole game plan keeps falling apart. That Palafin hit my Samurott too hard. I wasted a good opportunity. And if Ceaseless Edge didn't miss, that spike over there would have been enough to kill Goldengo once it switched into my Fling. because the first time it came in was to scare out Ursaring, then it's at 88%. And the second time it came in was against my Sarina, which puts it at 75%, and Fling does over 75%. So if I didn't miss that ceaseless edge, I would have won. 90% chance. So I lost because of that 10% miss. That's insane. Because once Fling killed the Goldengo, all that was left was Palafin and Dugtrio. Now, he could go for the Dugtrio and Terra Blast Ice me, but I believe, yeah, if he goes for Dugtrio and Terra Blast Ices me, Ursaring can just come in and start setting up. If he goes to Palafin, he can't one-shot my Sarina unless he uses Ice Punch. So yeah. And that means free setup for Ursaring. I could have won if this Goldengo was out of the picture. Well, that was 2 losers in a row, but somehow it's still possible for me to make it to playoffs. Hopefully, next week, I can break the lose streak. Thanks for watching, everyone.